everyone, it's Tawny with Horse Plus, and generally you see me talking about horses and what we see with them being rescued, you know, across the nation. But I want to talk a little bit about dogs and cats in rural Tennessee because it's a huge problem, and I sometimes don't even know where to turn. The problem's so big, and we came to Tennessee because there's just no resources for dogs and cats in rural Tennessee. And when we were looking to have a shelter in Tennessee, we looked at a map of all of Tennessee and where there was dog and cat agencies and where there was nothing. And where we chose to build our shelter is in an area where there's no dogs and cat shelters anywhere in counties all around. It's very rural Tennessee, and that's one of the reasons we're here. But I didn't realize the problem was so bad. There's so many dogs and cats that have nowhere to go. Just today I got a call from a lady. She was crying. Her mother passed away in February. She had these cats that belonged to her mother. Thankfully, thanks to a spay-neuter program, they were spayed. But you can probably hear them meowing in the video. I'm sitting in the car. I just got back with them, and it's hot out there, so I'm letting them enjoy the air conditioning a little bit more. She's been trying for months to find homes for these cats, but there's nowhere for them. There's absolutely no place to take dogs and cats here in rural Tennessee, and I can't tell you how many times I see dogs and cats just dumped on the side of the road. There's been kittens in boxes alongside the road or in old barns. People they have nowhere to take these cats and kittens and dogs that they find, and they will dump them, and it's very, very sad. I know one guy came to us with the story that he was driving on the road, found this little litter of kittens just dumped in the road, and he picked them up, and he didn't know what to do because he was on his way to work, and there's no place they can call up and say, hey, I just found these kittens, can you take them? There's no animal shelter here in rural Tennessee, and it's devastating for the animals. And in the fall there's a lot of hunting that happens, and a lot of deer carcasses just get dumped alongside the road, and I've seen dumped dogs just dumped out with these deer carcasses and living off the deer carcasses because there's nowhere for people to surrender them, and they should be taking responsible care of their animals, but they don't. And you know, we get calls and we're not set up to handle dogs and cats. I would love to be able to have even just a small shelter facility for dogs and cats, so when we get these calls we have somewhere to put them. We can handle horses all day long, we've got that down, but when it comes to dogs and cats and it's a huge problem, you know, what do we do? Last year there was a lady that had a litter of kittens that she found and a mama cat, and they were just dumped in this abandoned building, and she didn't know what to do. So I ended up taking them. I had nowhere for them to go. They ended up coming into my house because, you know, I had to put them somewhere, and they were covered in fleas, and I gave them all flea baths, and my whole house got infected with fleas, even though I was doing everything I could to do it. But there needs to be a shelter that can take dogs and cats in rural Tennessee, and it's not our calling, our mission, our calling is horses, but at the same time we can't just turn a blind eye to this problem that's so huge in rural Tennessee. And I hope as someday, you know, we can get support in that can build a animal shelter that can handle dogs and cats. So when we get those calls, we're not, you know, trying to figure out, well, can we ask them, you know, just take them to the veterinarian, or, you know, what can we do? There needs to be a safe place in rural Tennessee for dogs and cats. And you know, we're doing what we can, but, you know, today I'm supposed to be fundraising for this auction we have coming up, and instead I'm out rescuing these poor cats, and they needed rescuing so bad that the house had been living in since February. The lady was going in and feeding them. Her mother passed away, and you know, she had nowhere for these cats to go. And so when she called us crying, and I said, you know, I didn't know what to do, but I asked, well, you know, are they spayed? And she said they were, through the spay neuter program that there is in rural Tennessee, which is a huge blessing for so many people. But you know, since they're spayed and neutered, we are going to put them out in one of the barns and get them, you know, adjusted to being barn cats. They're pretty much semi-feral cats, but the house was terrible. The smell was just, I think I can still smell it. And there was cat poo and urine just littering the house. I'll post some pictures up in the comments so you can see, but the problem wouldn't have gotten so bad if there was a place she could have taken these cats back in February, you know. And you know, on the phone she's like, I don't want to go and dump these cats alongside the road or something, but the house is going up for auction. She has no choice, and it's just very frustrating. And you know, if we had money to build a dog and cat facility, we would do it, and we would accept these dogs and cats. And you know, ultimately we've talked to their places of networking them and getting them, but anyways, it's just a problem here, and I guess I wanted to share it with y'all so you could kind of think about, you know, us in rural Tennessee and the huge dog and cat problem we have. And I'll post some pictures of these cats and the house that they were in, and then Kimberly and Darren, Kimberly thanks everyone who donates, and Darren does our accounting. They picked up a very emaciated dog just a couple days ago. Somebody dumped, and it's a common thing. It's rampant. It's everywhere. You can be driving back on these dirt roads, and there's just dogs and cats dumped because there's nowhere for them to go. And their owners need to be responsible, but at the same time, these animals do not deserve to suffer because their owners don't have the knowledge and resources to take care of them properly, or feel like, you know, they're not just going to dump them on the road. It's culturally, it's an acceptable thing. You have a dog or cat you can't have, you dump it. And I've even seen or heard, not seen thankfully, but heard about whole litters of puppies that are just shot because they couldn't find homes for them. And you know, I mean, it's just so frustrating. There needs to be more resources for dogs and cats in rural Tennessee. So thank you for listening to this. If you feel you can help, please donate, because you know, we can start a fund so we can start helping dogs and cats in rural Tennessee. But right now, you know, we're doing what we can, but we don't have the resources and the facility to help them. But maybe with your help we can. So please, you know, search your heart and help us.